Cody Rhodes is the new WWE Champion. He shockingly defeated John Cena at SummerSlam to win it back. And now we find ourselves in a similar situation to what we were in, 6-9 months ago? But we are asking ourselves, what is next for Cody? He has defended this title against almost everyone across WWE at this point following his year-long reign last year. But the question is, who is next right now? My choice, my prediction is going to be Mr. Drew McIntyre. Of course, won that tag team match, that celebrity tag team match at SummerSlam. Plus, he didn't feud with Cody before, so it's a new feud for him, and I'd be all there for that. At least it's something new. But I do think WWE are going to struggle in terms of finding new names for him to actually feud with. Shad, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, honestly, this comes back to the issue at hand with the rosters. I just think Raw has a lot more depth and a lot more top heavy superstars, where SmackDown kind of thrives off of the mid card wrestlers, as well as having a plethora of tag team wrestlers, as you can see on their ladder match. Like their tag division is absolutely insane. So I mean, we run into that problem. I think there needs to be a balance restored. But I mean, I can't talk in hypotheticals, unfortunately. There's not a draft in the pipeline that we know about just yet. Maybe behind the scenes they're working on something. I don't know if they're making any trades. But if we're talking about the current roster right now, there's a couple options, right? Obviously you can go back to the well that is potentially Randy Orton. Maybe they can restore some sort of rivalry against each other. Maybe Randy goes heel against him. That could potentially be a matchup, because Randy does have championship aspirations and goals. You can go with somebody to create someone, right? Someone like Aleister Black. I think he's somebody that has got familiarity with Cody Rhodes. I think they've worked with each other in AEW. That's how he debuted. I think Aleister is a very, as over as you want character, and he could potentially get into the main event scene. But you know what? I'm not even going to argue with you, Ben. I think the only answer is Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is the most main event consistent person that they have, and he's not been in the title picture for quite some time now. He's the guy who gave us a great moment back in the pandemic era as champ, and he didn't get to have it around the fans, and now he's reinvented himself. He's been a phenomenal heel, giving us incredible storylines with CM Punk. The whole Jelly Roll aspect to it. Like he's so good at his character. It's just the perfect opponent for Cody Rhodes. And my thing with this is I say that to say this. Cody Rhodes, this is a do or die title reign. I think the weight on his shoulders is going to be a little bit more heavy this time around, because the feel good moment from the last one is gone, right? He finished the story. That's gone. Now he's got the title back again. And now the criticism is going to be a little bit more nitpicky by people, because a lot of people still wanted babyface Cena to maybe finish out his championship reign before he retired. Cody needs to have a strong title reign. I'm not saying his last title reign was bad, but this one, in the aspect of storylines, opponents, no redundancy, that is very important. So you have to give him suitable people to go against. And for that, I say Drew McIntyre. I think he can be a thorn on his side. He can generate enough heel heat for him. You put him in a potential matchup in a place like at Paris, it could draw a lot of viewership and a lot of people to want to see that. So I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre.
A fantastic shout, no doubt about it. And I agree as well. This definitely is do or die for Cody. And more specifically, do or turn heel for Cody. I don't think they want to turn him heel. I really cannot see a world where they try to turn him heel. But the question is, will fans still root for him? It's difficult to root for a babyface when they're on top, and especially when they're on top as quickly as Cody is once again. But we both have predicted Drew McIntyre, and it is interesting that Drew McIntyre, would be then facing Cody Rhodes at Clash in Paris. And McIntyre has had an absolutely awful record at Clash pay-per-views. Of course, Clash at the Castle Wales lost to Roman Reigns. Clash at the Castle Scotland lost to Damian Priest. But the two common factors with those two shows is with both he had big title matches in the main event. Anthony, could he also be in the main event of this one?
Probably. I think it's a rather thin herd that they could really put him up against. I think Orton they would save him for, I don't know, Survivor Series or a Rumble or perhaps even a Mania. I don't think they're going to burn the Orton flag just yet. Drew probably makes the most sense. I mean, they're not bringing in Rene Dupree to challenge him to get the French connection in this. Drew's the logical one. He's a great heel. Those other title matches that you had mentioned under Clash, if I'm not mistaken, he was a babyface in all those that he was unsuccessful.
No, last year he was a heel.
Yeah, okay. But just as a whole, I think it's probably the logical one. They don't probably want to turn Cody right now because he's still selling merch and he's still getting the chance. So I get it. It's the Hogan thing. It's the Austin thing. They're selling merch. I do think he is going to turn heel sooner than later. I don't know if it's going to be this soon or maybe they wait till Mania. I don't know. I think at some point we're going to see Homelander. We've seen hints at it. I think it's only a matter of time before they do it, and I think they'll do it before it gets stale. I think I think as a whole, that's probably where they're going with it. I don't want to see Solo Sikoa again with the guy with the worst win-loss record keep getting title shots. Like, nobody wants to see Solo again with that. I think Drew's probably the safe bet. I think Drew's the safe one.
Hey, Solo has a title already, okay, guys?
That is true. He doesn't lose. He has
ring.
one.
Yeah, okay.
Fell out the cage. Fell backwards to retain his title.
Cody versus every MFT member. Like, they have a gauntlet match. Be a real fighting champion.
Oh, God.
Tonga.
Tony says Cody turning heel won't happen this year or next year. I completely agree. He's basically him and Jay, but he sells way more than Jay, are the only ones who are selling well merchandise-wise to kids. Like, you're not really in a position where you can turn Cody heel business.
I really don't think he wants to go heel. Like, I believe when he says that, I truly do not think he wants to go heel. I think he wants to stay babyface as long as they will allow him to. And then here's the other thing, though, by the way, because I hear the argument about the fans not wanting to root for him and stuff like that. It is completely different here than it is in his time in AEW. I think the storyline driven for him has been a lot better in the WWE. I think the fan reception, his presentation, everything has clicked more for him over here than it was there. I just think that he's got a natural character that is suited for the WWE fan base to love him. Where in AEW, it's more of a, it's a little different type of fan base, man. Like, they kind of like the more anti-heroes more than like the clean-cut baby faces in a sense, So I think he's in the right. I don't see him going heel anytime soon. Only if it only if they're really trying to throw like a curveball at us, which I know he could play. He could play the heel character.
He'd do it amazingly.
Yeah,
I feel because he played a heel in Ring of Honor back in the day.
Very well.
So I know he's got it in him to do it, but I think when he does it, because I think if he does end up doing it at some point, it's going to be a shock one. It's not going to be, oh, I expected this. You're not going to expect it when he does it. I very much think it's going to be Hogan Bash at the Beach type, where it's like, wait, what? I have a feeling that's the type of turn that he would probably do, and it would be secretive. That you see on WWE Unreal that only like 3 people knew. Like, it's that type of thing where when they if and when they do it, it's going to be that.
It has to be on. It has to be against Roman though. Like, he has to go heel against Roman.
I think Roman's the guy that will probably end up dethroning him as a heel. Will probably be the logical choice.
I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see, and I do think there's a slight possibility it's Roman and Cody again at WrestleMania this year now, but who knows? But also at the same time, I don't think Roman's around enough to be the top babyface in the company. He's not around enough to be signing autographs, pulling in ratings, all of this. He's not there enough to do that.
Correct.
And nobody
Yeah.
else is near Cody's level.
I agree, but I disagree with you on that because Triple H spoke about it in Unreal that he finds nuance in a champion who doesn't defend the title a lot, that feels secretive and whatnot. And I think that, I mean, Roman wasn't around that often when he was champion for like those years too. Like he was there, but he wasn't defending it. He wasn't on TV.
Yeah, he was a heel, not the babyface.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. It worked with Brock and it worked with Roman because they're both heels. It doesn't really work with a babyface champion.
Yeah, especially to be the babyface in the company. Of course, we already know Clark thinks Cody's a heel, as Garrett says here. And Mike says, heel or face, it doesn't matter. Cody is a very compelling character. The Atomic Merp says, as big as it might be, the Cody heel turn would definitely overshadow Cena's, so they won't do that to him at least until next year. And Donnie says, Cody wants it to happen. We'll have to wait and see. Numero 1 is predicting Drew McIntyre or a fatal 5-way, potentially, and the Atomic Merp and Garrett are both saying the same.